This is Sonic, and you're watching JD Frank 20.
What is up, everybody? And I got an interesting topic right here. If you could pick one character from these to revive, who are you picking? The catch is the revival gives one new fresh idea, brand new concept, and an additional interesting character arc, even better than the last. Alright, so that's understandable right there. So you can only bring one of these characters back, obviously, to the Sonic lore, considering the fact that everything is basically canon at this point, according to IDW, and I guess Sonic Prime for the most part. At least post-Sonic Frontiers, so at least you got that. So out of these three characters, who would you bring back? Would you bring back Dark Doom? Would you bring back Infinite? Or would you bring back Mephiles the Dark? I think it's safe to say that we know which one do we want to bring back. I would probably go with Infinite. Now hear me out. Mephiles is good and all, don't get me wrong. But Mephiles is just a cheap copy of Shadow the Hedgehog, and his crystallized form is cool, don't get me wrong. But I could easily make my own villain way better than that. He's more sinister, he's more ruthless. And I got another villain that's even more sinister, trust me. I got so many villains in my game scripts, they're gonna make Mephiles basically obsolete. At least with Infinite, I can make him at least an anti-hero similar to Shadow. I honestly think that out of all three of these characters, I think Infinite deserves to come back the most. He was a missed opportunity, I'm always gonna be saying that, and Sonic Forces should have been more than what we got. We should have got a roadmap for that game. We should have got more into Infinite's origins, aside from episode Shadow, which a lot of people didn't even bother playing because they didn't care because they were just turned off by the series. That's just me personally, you know, because Mephiles, again, he's fantastic, but the way he was written off, I just don't like that decision. And even if you bring Mephiles back, what good is he gonna be? Like, oh great, Mephiles is back. So how is he gonna be even more evil than he already is? Can't kill everybody. You know, the writers won't allow it. They ain't gonna go back to the Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 days where he had, you know, storytelling at its peak. I don't see that shit happening, especially with all the restrictions you're getting right now. In my honest opinion, I would just rather go with my original character being so sinister. I even have another one just in case to add some more intensity. And at least Infinite would serve a purpose in my game scripts as being either a hero, or you can have him as a villain, a side villain, or you can have him be an anti-hero like Shadow. That's just the direction I feel we should be going with. Now for Mephiles, he's fantastic, don't get me wrong, but again, the way he was written off in Sonic 06, not a fan of that decision, and even if you were to bring him back, how more sinister could he really get? I mean, after killing Sonic the Hedgehog for a brief period, and turning everybody against each other, obviously manipulating Silver, and obviously playing tactics against Shadow before he was able to get him at the end by getting those last 2 Chaos Emeralds. I mean, I honestly think that was Mephiles at his peak. I don't see him getting any better. I mean, I guess I could try to make something work, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's worth the effort. Like, no, I'd rather just create my own super villains, which I already have, who's more sinister, who's more brutal, who's more ruthless than Mephiles. And one of these days, when I make the comparison, you're going to realize that you're going to like my villains way better than you're ever going to like Mephiles. You could count on that. So, in my honest opinion, I would go with Infinite. Infinite's the one who deserves the reboot the most, because at least with Infinite, I can make him at least an anti-hero, similar to Shadow. He could be a hero when you want him to be a hero. He could be a villain if you need a villain. You could always change the story with Infinite if you want, because remember, he could be his own character. He doesn't show no allegiances towards nobody. Shadow shows no allegiances to nobody either. He's like the lone wolf. He just does things his way, but when he sees something wrong, he tries to rectify it. You know, Shadow's never going to go back to Sonic Adventure 2 style Shadow, where he basically despises everybody, just wants to destroy the entire human race. He's not like that anymore. So, at least for Infinite, he could be his own person. He could always choose a side if you want him to choose a side. You see, he's got that advantage. Plus, I could always rewrite his story, which I have, and I honestly think it fits Infinite's role better. You know, again, I know a lot of you are probably not gonna like the fact that I picked Infinite out of Mephiles to bring back if he were to get a second chance. I understand, but like I said, my supervillains are way better than Mephiles. I'm not kidding you on that. Even by the names alone, they're way better than Mephiles, and they would be more impactful. Because again, Mephiles already, you know, he peaked in Sonic 06. There's not much more he could have done with them. Even if he were to rewrite them, what else would he have done differently? You know, at least with Infinite, there's plenty of room for improvement. You could always make Mephiles a likable hero, or you can make him a despisable villain, or just make him a cool anti-hero second only to Shadow. You could book him in that same regard. So at least Infinite, at least you're not pigeonholed into just, you know, making him a villain. No, Infinite, you can make him an anti-hero, or you can make him a good guy, a bad guy, or an in-betweener. That's the advantage you got as a storyteller. That's just my honest opinion. Everybody, let me know which character you would bring back out of all three of these, and leave a reason too, just to be sure. It's an open forum here. Let's have fun with this. All right, peace out.